What is up, my mates of YouTube? My name is Aussie Marcel, and in today's video we're looking at the top 5 fragrances that are both versatile and will get you the most compliments. So if that sounds good to you, let's get into the video. As always, we are going from least expensive to most expensive, and we're starting off at $20 Australian with David Beckham's Amber Breeze. Amber Breeze, long-lasting eau de parfum, a scent like a sunset ride, fresh and spicy with endless possibilities. Now, I don't think anybody on earth knows what that means, but it sounds good and it probably sells them fragrances. But all jokes aside, this is a fragrance worth checking out. Even at the off-sale price of about $30, it's still worth it. Aromatic, some lavender notes up top. Kind of reminds me of the way fragrances used to smell, old school scents like Lamani Pour Homme and Drakkar Noir. But as it dries down quickly, you've got that vanilla note. It starts off being sort of a little powdery and vanilla-y, and then it sort of dries into a sweet vanilla, almost like a sweet cream vanilla. It's a very attractive fragrance, and at that sale price of about $20 Australian, it is well worth picking up. I think because it's a unisex scent, this is one of those scents at that $20 price point that you can have in your bag, and if you lose it or if it gets stolen, you can just replace it pretty easily. But it's versatile, it smells fantastic, and with about 7 hours with 3 sprays, the performance is decent too, especially at that $20 price point. Next up, for $35 Australian, we have Silver Scent Pure. Now, if you're in a colder climate, and you're not a big fan of citruses, I would recommend Silver Scent Intense. It's got that same grape soda, or grape Fanta if you prefer, vibe with that fabric softener, but it also adds rose and a synthetic oud note. Silver Scent Pure is different and it's a much fresher fragrance. You've got lemon zest, lemon peel, lemon rind. It's a very citrusy scent up top, but it still has that super clean fabric softener quality to it as well that makes it that silver scent DNA. I love the way this one smells. It's the best performing fresh fragrance I've ever experienced in my life. 2 sprays get you 24 hours plus easily, and at that $35 price point, it's an easy recommendation. I love the way this one smells. The silver scent fragrances are so slept on, but I've seen it pretty often here on YouTube that in my comment section, people are saying that the silver scent fragrances are popular with people in Western Sydney. I don't know, you guys will have to confirm that one for yourselves. I haven't been to West Sydney in like 20 years, man. I was a kid. But I don't know, let me know in the comments below if silver scent is popular where you are. But I highly recommend Silver Scent Pure. It's a great smelling fragrance. Next up, for $70 Australian, we have Hugo Boss Bottled United. Another fragrance with the notes on the back. Top notes, an ozone accord, wild buchu leaf. Heart notes, spearmint, peppermint. Base notes, woody notes. Please be more specific, guys. What are woody notes? Interesting bottle design. It's really chromed out. Exhibit would be really proud of this one. That's such an old man joke. Does anybody even remember Pimp My Ride? That show was awesome though. This fragrance is surprisingly good. If you like the brand of Hugo Boss and the Boss bottled scents, this is gonna stand apart from those. This doesn't have that typical apple cinnamon quality to it. It's a little subtly sweet up top. It kind of reminds me of a Christmas tree, coniferous kind of a smell. Aromatic. But then as that fades ever so slightly, you get a vibrant mint quality to it. And that only adds to that sharp Christmas tree vibe. It's pretty attractive. It probably, like when you think of a Christmas tree, you don't think of, oh wow, that's an attractive fragrance. But you're gonna have to go out and try this one because it's a pretty attractive scent. Every time I've worn this one, I've gotten a massive amount of compliments for it. And then as it dries a little bit, some of that vibrant mint fades relatively quickly and you're left with that aromatic, piney, woody quality to it. It's very versatile, it's great for compliments, and I find that the buchu in this really sticks with it. This is one of those scents that lasts for about 8 hours with 3 sprays, and for a Boss bottled scent, that is very solid performance. Next up, for $80 Australian, we have a fragrance that I originally despised and did not like at all. Azzaro Wanted by Night. I originally mistakenly thought that this fragrance was a clone of Paco Rabanne's Invictus. A fragrance that smells okay, amazing performance, incredible performance, but a very mediocre fragrance. I just thought that this was a clone of Invictus, but I was very wrong. They do share a similar synthetic sweetness, but where that's quite a fresh, oceanic, aquatic sort of smell, if you can call it that, with like a huge dose of fake ambergris. Azzaro Wanted by Night has a huge dose of cinnamon. Unlike the worst fragrance of all time, Paco Rabanne's 1 million, this fragrance is worth picking up, and it's cheaper than 1 million as well. 1 million is going to set you back about $120 for a good sized bottle, $80 Australian. The only downside is the edgelord sort of mid-2000s design, but we'll let that one slide because this is a great smelling fragrance. You've got the cinnamon up top, and it's fruity, spicy, and it's got this subtle smoky incense quality that I've really grown quite fond of. I was wearing this morning and I was like wafting it up to myself, and I was sitting there and I was like, yes, hint of cinnamon there. I was like, I'm not one of those pretentious fragrance snobs. If a fragrance smells good, it smells good. There's nothing more complicated than that. This, on the other hand, though, it's worth picking up. I love that combination of the fruits and the incense. You don't see those two things combined very often, but it's done so well here. Performance is incredible. You're looking at 12 hours with 3 sprays. It is a strong scent. You can dial the sprays back a little bit. I typically wear about 2 sprays of this one, but performance is solid. If you like the Paco Rabanne fragrances and you want something a little different, you will like this one. Maybe if you've overworn 1 million, if you've overworn Invictus, give this one a try. I think it's better than both of those fragrances. And lastly, at $125 Australian, we have Leather Skies by AllSaints. It is the priciest fragrance on the list, but I've never worn this and not gotten a compliment for it. It is a fresh leather fragrance, super versatile, where you can wear this one all seasons, all occasions. It's not very often you get the fresh with the leather, spicy up top. Almost has a similar sort of coniferous, piney smell, although not quite as strong in those qualities as Boss Bottled United. Off of sale, this one's about $100 at Priceline. I would probably recommend picking it up on that sale price. God, this fragrance smells good. It's spicy, it's fresh, it's leathery. That leather is just, the way it's presented is so attractive. It is technically a unisex fragrance, but I think the note of leather kind of lends itself more to masculine and masculinity. But obviously, feel free to wear whatever the hell you want. This fragrance, for that price point, it is pricey. It's going to come in at a similar price point to those Who Is Elijah fragrances. Performs incredibly, 9 hours plus with 3 sprays. I typically wear almost 5 sprays of this and it lasts over 12 hours, but when it comes to these fresh leather fragrances, you've got to really experiment with what works for you, because sometimes they perform really well on your skin and other times they fade almost instantly. So that's a good rule of thumb for fragrances in general. Just try things out, see what works best for you. Anyways, Leather Skies, I couldn't give it a higher mark or higher recommendation. It's worth the expensive price point. So I'm curious to know what you guys think. What do you wear that gives you the most compliments that are also the most versatile fragrances? Drop them in the comments below. I love the vibe of the comments, guys. Everyone here is so nice and I love that about the community. And until the next video, my name is Aussie Marcel and I'll catch you guys around.